Hey guys, I'm Dylan with DylAcademy, and today we're going to be doing paper 3H for math from November 2009. So let's start with it. Question 1, really simple, asking you to show that 2 over 3 plus 1 over 5 is equal to 13 over 15. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the left hand side and prove this separately. Alright, so what we need to do is get it in the denominator of 15 like this. So we need to make this fraction first a common denominator before we add and subtract. So we need to have a common denominator of 15. So how do we do this? First of all, what we do is this thing called cross multiplication, which is basically where we multiply both. Basically we multiply this denominator by the opposite numerator and this numerator by the opposite denominator. It'll give us like a common factor. And then what we do is we multiply these two together and we get a lowest common denominator at the bottom. So let's do it. So 5 times 2 is 10, 3 times 1 is 3, so 3 times plus 1 is 3, and then over 3 times 5 is 15. So this becomes, if you equate the top, it becomes nothing but 13 over 15. And hence, you've proved this side. Question 2, really simple also. You're being asked to solve for y in this case. So what we need to do is we need to get all the y's on one side and all the numbers on one side, so that we can start adding and subtracting. So let's get all the y's on one side. How do we do that? We basically subtract 5y on both sides. I'm expecting you know your basic algebra. So you're going to get 8y minus 5y. And what we can also do is to get this number on this side, we can add 9 on both sides. So we add 9 over here, and we add 9 over here. And what we're going to get is 8y minus 5y is equal to 3 plus 9, because 9 and 9 cancel, and this 5y and 5y cancel. So 8y minus 5y is nothing but 3y, and 3 plus 9 is nothing but 12. So we got a simple way. Now we need to find y. So what do we need to do? We need to divide both sides by 3, and what we're going to get is 3 and 3 cancel to form 1. So 1y is equal to 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Okay, so question 3 gives you a diagram of a regular octagon with center O. Now, a regular octagon just means that it's like all of these sides are equal. Okay? So now that you know that all of these sides are equal, you should know that these two sides are equal because they're coming from the center, so they're nothing but radiuses. So that means that, another triangle, if I draw it here, all these three sides should be equal. And so this triangle should be equal to this triangle. Again, if I do it with the same, if I draw another triangle like that, or another triangle like that, I do it pretty badly. If I draw another triangle like that, like that, like that, like that, or like that, you should know that all of these equilateral triangles are equal, are the same length, same angles, same everything. So now knowing that, we're going to solve for x in 3a, which is what we're being asked to do. Okay, well the formula for an interior angle of a regular polygon, any thing, is 180 n minus 2 over 2, n being the number of sides. Not over 2, over n. Alright, so now we can use this equation to find an interior angle, which is nothing but this angle. Alright, so let's do it. So in this case there are 8 sides because it's a regular octagon. So it's 180 times 8 minus 2, which is 6, over 8. Which gives you an interior angle of 135. Now here's where we're going to use the triangle bit. Basically you know that this whole thing is 135. And you know that this triangle is over here. There's another triangle, right? Because I told you can split this into many triangles. And they're all equal. So you know this whole angle is 135, right? And these two angles, one sec, let me erase this. And these two angles, they're equal. So in order to find x, all we need to do is take the whole angle, which is 135, and divide it by 2. So in this case, all we're going to do is do 135 divided by 2, and that'll be angle x. And in this case, it's 67.5 degrees. Alright, so second 3b is asking you, it tells you that a regular polygon has an exterior angle of 30. Work out the number of sides. Now, an exterior angle of any polygon, of any regular polygon, is the kind of thing I've drawn here, which is basically if you extend this line, the angle it forms is nothing but the exterior angle. So this red, all of these red things are exterior angles. Alright? So now the formula for exterior angle is 360 divided by n being the number of sides, and this is for all regular polygons. So in this case, your exterior angle is 30. So 30 is equal to 360 divided by n. Now all we got to do is solve for n to find a value of number of sides. So all we do is multiply both sides by n and divide by 30. So we're going to get n is equal to 360 over 30. So n is equal to 12. So the polygon has 12 sides. Alright, fourth question. I really hate explaining these questions. Okay, basically so I'm warning you beforehand. So basically what I'm saying is, the question is asking, is to work out the mean number of people in these 36 families. They've given you a table of number of people in each family and the frequency of each number of people. So basically, what you got to do is find the mean. Now mean is nothing but an average. So like for example, if we were to relate it to average, a mean is nothing but an average, right? And average or mean is nothing but equal to total of all instances divided by number of all instances. So like let's relate it to average cost. Average cost is nothing but the total cost divided by the output you produce. So basically the total of how much basically it costs to produce that output. So all of the prices of each output times the number of output divided by the output you produce. So now in this case, we're being asked to find the mean of families. So to find the total of all the numbers of families, all we got to do is multiply each number of family by each frequency and add them all together. So we're going to get 1 times 3 plus, I'll just fill in the rest. Yeah, so plus 3 times 7 plus 4 times 13 plus 5 times 11 all over. Now what is the number of instances? The number of instances is nothing but the frequency, so it's nothing but adding all of the frequencies. So it's 3 plus 2 plus 7 plus 13 plus 11. This simplifies to 135 over 36, which is nothing but 3.75 people in each family as an average. Alright, so in question 5, they're saying cups cost X dollars, mugs cost X plus $2. So you got to write an expression for the term in terms of X for the total cost of 12 cups and 6 mugs. So now, basically, how much do 12 cups cost? It's nothing but 12 times the price of each cup. So it's nothing but 12 times each cup costs X, so 12X. Now what is the cost of 6 mugs? Yeah, what's the cost of 6 mugs? It's nothing but 6 times the cost of each mug, right? The price, I'll put $1 here. 12 times the price of cup, right? So it's 6 times the price of mugs, right? So all you got to do, and the price of mugs is X plus 2. So all this becomes is 6 times X plus 2. Now, what is the total cost of 6 cups and 12 mugs? It's nothing but this plus this. So it's nothing but 12X plus 6 times X plus 2. And that is your expression. Well, you have this nice expression where 12X plus 6X plus 2 times X plus 2 is equal to the total cost of 12 cups and 6 mugs. Now 5b tells you that the total cost, basically this, is nothing but 57. So that means, and they're asking you to work out the cost of 1 cup. So that means that 12 times X plus 6X plus 2 is equal to 57. Now as you know from the previous question, X is nothing but the cost of each cup. So it's the price of each cup. So all we got to do is solve for X, and we'll get a value of the cost of each cup, 1 cup. So if we simplify this, we're going to go 12x. Remember your expanding of brackets. You multiply the thing by each factor inside. So you get 12x plus 6x plus 6 times 2, is 12. is equal to 57. Now 12x plus 6x is nothing but 18x, and we can subtract 12 on both sides, and we're going to get 18x is equal to 57 minus 12, which is 45. So divide by 18 on both sides, you're going to get x as 2.5. So the cost of each cup is $2.5 or whatever you like to call it. And by the way, for 5a, I made a small mistake. You remember how you had 12x plus 6 brackets x plus 2? Well, what they want you to do is they want you to simplify it. So you got to do 12x plus 6. Remember, factorize 6x plus 12. And you got to simplify this into 18x plus 12. Otherwise, they won't give you the second mark. So just make sure you do that. Okay, well, 6a, they've given you two sets, S and T, and they've given you the numbers in each. And they're asking you how many members are there in S union T. Now this U, don't be surprised, it's not a U letter. It means union. And it basically means all of the numbers in the set. So for example, like if I had two sets, 1, 2, 3 in one set, and 2, 3, 4 in the other set, basically in A, this is set A, this is set B. Basically in A union B, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't need to repeat the numbers, it's just that all the numbers that are possible, that's what it means. So in this case, what are all the numbers that are possible? Basically the numbers that are possible are 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. But this question is asking you how many members, meaning how many numbers. So you have to count the number of numbers that are in S union T. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 members. Okay, question 6b. You're given a set U, and they're saying U union V is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as you know, union is all the numbers that are possible. Now, 3, 4, 5 could have come from U, or it could have come from V. For all you know, V could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But basically, they're saying is V has as few members as possible, meaning it should only have these remaining members. It could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And the union would have been the same value. But what the question is saying is that the set V has fewest numbers as possible, so it should only have the remaining two numbers, because U doesn't have it, so V must have it for U union V to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just V is equal to 1 and 2, because it has to have the fewest members as possible. Alright, so 6C, you're given two sets, cats and black animals. It's kind of like a stupid question, but whatever, we'll do it. And you're being asked for A intersect B. Now this upside down U is intersect. It means intersect, and it means what do they have in common? Basically, what do both the common? So basically, what do they have in common? What do they share? So now if you look at A, it's cats, and B is black animals. So how can they be common? How can A intersect B occur? How can like cats and black animals be the same? Basically, if you have black cats, right? Since you need to have black animals, and also your black animal needs to be a cat. So basically, that's what A intersect B is. It's like each of them has to have something in it. That's what it is. So it should be black cats. Alright, 7a is a really easy question. You're just being asked to calculate the circumference of a circle of radius 30 centimeters. Now, I'll bring your attention to this note because you needed to solve this question. So what this note says is, a circumference, by the way, is perimeter. So it's just basically the outer part of the circle, the outer length. So for any circle, if you have a radius r, the circumference of the circle, or the perimeter, is nothing but 2 times pi times r. Pi can be found in your calculator, and r is the radius. So if you have a radius of 30 centimeters, it's nothing but 2 times pi times 30. And basically put this on your calculator. Don't worry, you don't need to know what pi is. You'll get an answer of 188.49555, and it has to be the 3 significant figures, so it's just 188 centimeters since it's only a length. Alright, so diagram 7b says that there's a diagram, shows a diagram of a circle within a square. Alright, and they say the circle touches the sides of the square. So the circle is completely like touching the sides. So they're asking you to work out the area of this shaded region, this part. So basically what you need to first know is the area of a circle, which I've written on this note here. The area of any circle with a radius of r is pi times r squared. So basically the radius squared times pi. Now, first of all, how are you going to find, sorry for the bad language, how are you going to find the area of this shaded region? Now, first of all, look at this. You have a square here, and inside the square you have a circle. So if you found the area of the square, and then you cancelled all of this out, you would have nothing but this shaded region. So that's what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to find the area of the square. Now, what is the area of any? What is the length of this? What's the area of any square? Sorry, it's nothing but the length times the length, right? So, what is the length in this case? Now, think about this. Now, the circle is touching the sides of the square, so this could also be considered a radius. So 2.1, and this could also be considered 2.1. Now, if you think about it, all this line is nothing but the length of the square. So all we have to say is the length of the square is 2.1 plus 2.1. So the length of the square is 4.2. So now the area of the square is equal to 4.2 times 4.2, which is nothing but 17.64 centimeter squared. And the area of the circle is nothing but pi times r squared, and r is 2.1, so pi times 2.1 squared, and that is nothing but 13.9, and I've rounded this to actually I'll round it to 4 significant figures to match this, so 13.85. Alright, so now all we got to do is subtract this area from this area. So 17.64 minus 13.85, and you're going to get the area of the shaded region, which is nothing but 3.79 centimeter squared. Okay, question 8 is really simple. They're saying that James throws this stupid dice once, and it shows all the possibilities for all the scores, and all the probabilities are recorded over here, and the probability for each score. So basically they're asking, what is the probability that he scores more than 3? First of all, find yourself the probability. Okay, so basically if he scores more than 3, he can't score 1, so this probability is out. He can't score 2, so this probability is out. He has to score more than 3, so this probability is out. Meaning, if he has to score 4, 5, or 6. So if you want to find the total probability, all you have to do is add the probabilities of scoring 4, 5, and 6. So it's nothing but 0.1 plus 0.05 plus 0.05, which is nothing but 0.2. This is because it's basically the total probability, because he's throwing it once. So the probability of 4 gets added to the probability of hitting a 5 and a 6, because there's more probability if you're trying to go for 3 different numbers, right? So that's why you're adding them. And you'll get 0.2. Alright, 9a is very basic. Expand fully and simplify. Now your knowledge of expanding brackets, you multiply each of the outside factor by each of the inside. So you're going to get 2 times w, which is 2w, minus 3 times 2, which is minus 6, plus 3 times w, which is 3w, and plus 3 times 5, which is plus 15. So 2w and 3w. 2w plus 3w is 5w, and minus 6 plus 15 is plus 9. So that means it's 5x plus 9. I mean 5w plus 9, sorry. Alright, B is pretty easy, 9b. And they're asking you to solve the equation for x. So basically, you got to get x alone. So multiply 3 on both sides first of all, to get rid of the 3's. Because you can't just subtract 5 on both sides, because this is 5 over 3. So you multiply 3 on both sides, you're going to get x plus 5 is equal to 9 times 3, which is 27. Then you subtract 5 on both sides, and you're going to get x is equal to 27 minus 5, which is 22. Alright, C is really easy. They're asking you to solve the inequality. Don't worry about the word inequality. It's just a fancy, stupid word. You can treat it just like a normal algebraic expression in this case. So all you got to do is subtract 7 on both sides like you would in an equation. You're going to get 5y is less than 13 minus 7, which is 6. And then what you're going to do is divide both sides by 5. So divided by 5, divided by 5. You're going to get y is less than 6 over 5. Alright, question 10, the last question for this part. You're being asked to find the surface area of the prism. Now, they've given you all the lengths and this is all you need. So the surface area is nothing but the outside area. So first of all, let's figure out we'll split this shape up. So basically if you look, there's one triangle here and the exact same triangle is left over here. Then if you look at the bottom of the shape, there's a nice little rectangle over there. Then if you look at the back of the shape, there's another rectangle over there. And if you look at the top part of the shape, there's another rectangle over here. So I know it looks all confusing, so we're going to first deal with these two triangles. We'll call them A. So the area of A of A, is nothing but half base times height, since it's a triangle. So half, the base is nothing but 8 or 8. So half times 8, because this triangle is turned over, right? Times 15 is the height. Alright? So all you got to do is solve. You're going to get 4 times 15, which is nothing but 60 centimeters squared. Next, let's calculate the area of the bottom bit, which we'll call B. So the area of B, A of B, is nothing but any rectangle, its length times width. So in this case, the length is, look at it, it's 20. So 20 times the width of this is nothing but 15, because if you look at it, so 20 times 15, which is 300 centimeters squared. Alright, next we'll calculate the area of the back bit, basically the back rectangle, and we'll call that C. So area of C, it's a rectangle, it's nothing but length times width again. The length is nothing but, if you look at it, it's just this little thing over there, or no, sorry, that's the width. So that's 8 times, the length is nothing but, again, this length, and this length corresponds to this length. So 20. So it's nothing but 160 centimeters squared. And now it's time to find this top bit, basically the kind of slopy thing, the slopy rectangle on the top, which we'll call D. So area of D is nothing but, again, it's a nice rectangle over here if you look at it. So it's length times width. And the length of it is, again, if you look at this little side over here, it's 20 times the width is nothing but the slant. So it's 17 as shown on the diagram, which gives you an answer of 340 centimeter squared. So what is the total area? The total surface area is nothing but adding all of these together. In this case, there are two A's, 1 and 2, so it's total area is equal to 2 times A plus B plus C plus D. So what is the area of A? It's nothing but 2 times 60, and B is nothing but 300, and C is nothing but 160, and D is nothing but 340. So your total surface area will be 920 centimeters square, since it's area. Okay, we're done with part 1 of paper 3H from November 2009. Please watch part 2. Comment below if you have any questions, and please rate this video. Thanks a lot, guys. See you on the next part.